Yo, what's up YouTube? So today we're going to talk about this DR200 and the mods that we have done to it. There's not a lot on the internet, as you probably already know if you're watching this video. The DR200 has been forgotten about when it comes to mods. I've done a little bit so far, but this video I want to make it mostly about the DR200 and what you can do to modify it. So far I've done a tidy tail. It kind of is not what a DR200 is supposed to have, but we made it happen. We had a DRZ400 tidy tail we bought off the internet, and we just kind of made that fit. We went from a 15 tooth front sprocket and made a really dramatic move to make a 12 tooth front sprocket work. Yeah, that's pretty extreme, but so far I like it because this is mostly a trail bike for me. We put some thicker handlebars on it. We went with the Pro Taper Woods High. We put the brackets on to make that accept those bars. So you don't have the junk that came with it from Suzuki. You have some fat bars, so if the bike falls over, it's gonna be okay. We put a JNS headlight on it. Super bright, awesome. Makes the nighttime riding a hell of a lot better. So far, that's kind of all I have done. I have plans to put a aftermarket exhaust and tune this carburetor to make this bike a little bit better. We also went ahead and put some aftermarket tires on it, took off the death wings or whatever the hell came on the bike, and we went ahead and put some Shinkos on it, some Shinko 244s, Golden Boys, awesome tires for our application. So let's see what we can do with this bike today. So a little bit about this bike. I got it maybe a month or two ago. Great deal on it. I paid $2,000 for it. It only had 1,400 miles on it, so that was a pretty sweet deal. And it's a 2015, so I really couldn't go wrong. I was just kind of looking for a dirt bike, and I kind of wanted something that I could also ride on the street. So that's kind of why I picked the DR200. I couldn't really pass the deal up. It was awesome, so that's really why I bought it. And we got a Suzuki OEM filter for it. Of course, you got to put that on. I haven't changed it yet, but it's actually not bad. So off eBay, I got these jets here, 37.5 and a 130, $19 on eBay. Go that route, don't buy a dyno jet. Since it has a vacuum Petcock, I'm gonna go ahead and get the normal cock on there. And of course, whenever you mess with the carburetor, you're gonna wanna change out the bolts on the bottom of the bowl because they'll strip out real easily. So that's why I went ahead and got this. All this is from eBay. I mean, maybe 50 bucks invested, not bad. So that's what we're gonna put on today. And then after, whenever the parts come in, we're gonna go ahead and put an exhaust and a rack on this bad boy and see how that looks.
All right, so I was about to drain the gas tank, but I guess I just figured I could just put it on prime and stop that so I could take the carburetor off. I'll drain the gas tank later. So yeah, just drain a little bit. And here we go, taking the carburetor off. Undoing the boot clamps, and honestly this carburetor wasn't too bad to pull out. Just yank it out easily. Boom. And here we're going to drain the bowl screw, get the rest of the gas out. So when I take the thing apart, I'm gonna get gas everywhere. So yeah, let that thing pee a little bit. So it's got a lot in there, and we're gonna tighten that back up. Tighten that bad boy back up. All right, so let's go ahead and try to take this thing apart. So yeah, remember those screws I talked about? This is where those aftermarket screws come into play, because this is a pain in the ass. For some reason, Suzuki loves to make the cheapest pot metal screws and just slap them on with Sasquatch strength on the bottom of the carburetor. It's terrible. So get out your little vice grips here and work at them. Just barely loosen them. You gotta be careful with these things. I'm so scared I'm gonna break them every time I do this. But eventually they got manhandled, so I could just unscrew them with the screwdriver. And there it is. There's the bowl off with the main jet and the pilot jet. And that's where those screws are handy. Anyway, we're gonna do a 130 main right here. I think this is the 125. We're taking that out. So let's go ahead and switch this one. Yeah, 125. Bye. And let's go in with the 130. All right, and we're gonna put it back in. You got to be real careful with these things. They're like brass, so yeah, if you over tighten it, you will strip it out pretty easily. And try not to grab such a rusty flathead screwdriver. Grab a nice screwdriver. And this little pilot jet was a pain in the ass. It almost wanted to strip. I don't know what the hell Suzuki is paying Frankenstein to put carburetors together, but dude, these things are put in with super glue. So finally got that thing out. Bye. And in with the new. And this is why these are handy. These will save your life if you strip some screws. Plus, if you ever do have to clean the carburetor, which you will, yeah, you're gonna want these. Makes it a hell of a lot easier to take the bowl on and off. All right, so this is probably what most people are scared of when it comes to this. Let's just drill into our carburetor. Yeah, so I don't know what size bit that is. It's not a big one, so don't overdo it. But there's a little brass fitting right here. It's covering your fuel mixture screw. So we drilled it out. This is a self-tapping screw. We're screwing into that little brass fitting after we drilled the hole. And get in there pretty snug. I got my little vice clamps here and a little wrench for leverage, and we're just gonna pry it out of there. And that's it. Be gentle. Don't be like Suzuki. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and take this mixture screw out. Boom. Don't lose your spring and washer. Well, I guess you can because the new kit came with this. So yeah, be careful not to lose these tiny little pieces. Certain order: spring, washer, and then O-ring, according to the manufacturer of this specific fuel mixture screw. But look, I actually didn't even end up using this one. I ordered a different one because this one was actually for a DR650, and it was too damn long, and it's supposed to bolt onto something. If you can see that little hole right there on that bracket, and I just could not find anywhere to bolt it to, so I just honestly scrapped it and just went ahead and bought a smaller one that is a lot shorter. And there she is, all put back together. Besides this little rubber piece, it was not letting me screw this thing in all the way. Decided to just cut a little piece off. Little razor blade do the trick. Don't recommend this part anyway. Just get a regular aftermarket fuel mixture screw, like a longer one that you can just reach your hand in there and twist. I never tried one of these. I wanted to try it, but honestly, nah. Didn't like it. Also, that is that fuel mixture screw. Let's turn that in all the way and then turn it out 3 turns. That's a good starting point just to get your mixture right. Anyway, so yeah, again, hard screws to take off. Top of the carburetor. Don't lose your spring. Be careful with the rubber boot. Pull that out gently. And there's your slide and your needle. Take that out. And I had to refer to the internet to get this one. There's actually another good video on YouTube of someone doing this, so watch his video also and pay attention. But I believe you take off that little C-clip, put the washer on, and then you just put the C-clip back on, and that creates the right size gap for the needle. And this thing's microscopic, so it's not the easiest thing to get on there. It will easily fly across the shop and be gone forever. You don't be careful. But make sure you click it in all the way. Boom, there it is. Slide that puppy back in all the way. Be gentle, easy. Watch your rubber. There it is. Make sure it's on there right. Good seal. All right, put the spring back in. Line it up and put that cap back on. I just use the same screws because honestly these weren't nearly as hard as the bottom bolt screws, so yeah, these didn't strip, so there you go, they work. All right, and that's jetted carburetor. All right, so to put the petcock on, obviously I got to drain this gas tank. Here's the new petcock, nice and shiny with no prime. I hate those vacuum petcocks. So 2 bolts right here under the gas tank after you drain it. The gas tank is huge. It's like over 3 gallons, so it literally took me forever to drain it. But yeah, it's kind of what I do like about the bike. You can ride trails forever on 1 tank of gas. But 2 screws under the gas tank. If you can't find them, you don't even need to own a bike. Here's the piece of junk that was there. See, when I put my bikes up, if I'm not riding them for a while, I like to run the gas all the way out. That's the whole purpose of me changing this out. I like to turn the gas off, let the bike idle until it kills, and then I can store the bike for a few weeks, whatever, if I'm not riding it. So that's the main purpose of this one. It's definitely nice to have. And just put it back in. How you got the other one out. Honestly, a motorcycle lift or something would be better than this because you're literally breaking my back trying to see under this gas tank. But yeah, there's 2 screws. Put those back in. Snug them up good. Make sure that gasket was in there. Reuse the hose from the old petcock. All right. And slide that thing back on there. It's a pretty snug fit, to be honest, so took me a second. I think the actual hole for this new petcock was a little bit bigger than the old one for the hose. But that's good, tight fit, didn't leak. That's what I want. All right, this little spring that goes around the air box, watch it too. It's a pain. It kind of came off when I was trying to put this carburetor in. It was so hard to get it back on. Carburetors, honestly, a lot easier to take off than to put back on. This bike has a good bit of room, so it's not too bad, but it's still a tight squeeze trying to get these boots to line up. If you do use a screwdriver like me, just be careful. If you puncture a boot, you're gonna have a bad day. So just slow and steady. And there it is, almost in. All right. Your boot clamps, tighten those back up. Nice and snug, don't over tighten. All right, and there you go. Back in.
All right, so the jets are in, the carburetor's back on finally. We're about to fill the bike up and put some gas in it, see if it starts. I ordered some vacuum caps, but they haven't came in yet, so I took a vacuum hose and some grip glue, and we're gonna make a vacuum cap until those come in. So if you see this on here, that's why. With the vacuum activated petcock, we couldn't really run the bike without this, I guess, so we're gonna try it, see if it works. Hopefully it does. So the bike is gassed up, the petcock is turned to reserve because I didn't put that much gas in it, and the vacuum cap's on. It's not adjusted yet, so it might be a little finicky at first, and also I ordered an FMF pipe. That's what this whole jet kit is for. The FMF pipe is not here yet, so hopefully it runs as good as it can until that happens. So let's see how it does. Do a couple pumps. Hey, it actually sounds like it's running okay. It's pretty responsive. Fuel mixture screw, 3 turns in, and I mean all the way in and 3 turns out. It's what it gets you at 20-foot sea level, above sea level. We're all right. Feels pretty good, but we still didn't do the airbox mod, but I don't know if I should even do that until the aftermarket pipe comes in. It seems like it's running okay, but not a whole lot of noticeable power yet. I mean, I can feel the difference, but it's not a lot. But this also just rode it up the driveway. Gotta maybe take it down the road for a second. Oh yeah, it's a little different. It's a little different. A little more pep. Not much, but maybe that pipe will change that. We'll have to see.